The Unrivaled League is in complete disarray once again, and this time it's Dee Carrington at the center of the scandal. Kate Martin is playing on an arrival team, and Dee Carrington is also using her old tricks. It seems strange that this keeps happening out there involving DJ Carrington and Kate Martin. In this case, it was Caitlin Clark. And does Caitlin Clark's friendship with Kate Martin get influenced here? Fans and players were left completely stunned after Carrington's shocking slap to Kate Martin's face during a heated matchup. Carrington's aggressive behavior toward Kate immediately sparked conversations about sportsmanship and fair play. What really happened here, man? Well, nice pass. Oh, man. So your Dijonai help her up right after you clobber her like that, right? Carrington, who has made headlines for her aggressive style of play, has once again fanned the flames of her reputation for towing the line or outright crossing it. Her latest target was Kate Martin, making the Iowa stand out. This wasn't just a hard foul. It was a blatant act of aggression that left spectators wondering her intentions. And it didn't stop there. Carrington was all over Kate throughout the game, but what did Kate actually do to ruin Carrington? When Martin swerved past Carrington on the court, what should have been a simple defensive play descended into chaos. Instead of making an honest attempt at the ball, Carrington swung her arm with force, connecting in a way that sent Martin crashing to the ground. The impact was brutal, leaving Martin visibly shaken and clutching her side as officials blew the whistle and hurried away. Later, stay tuned to hear more. Replays confirm what many had feared. The bird wasn't accidental, it was intentional. How come every time there's a foul, whether it's a flagrant or questionable one, a slap across the face, a fingernail in the eyeball, and you just happen to be the DJ showing up on the scene of a crime? The slow motion footage left no room for doubt. Carrington's arm swing looked calculated, adding fuel to long-standing accusations about her dangerous playing style. Martin's teammates and medical staff rushed to her side as the audience held their breath, stunned by the severity of the foul. Despite Martin's ability to continue playing following a quick assessment, the moment's physical and emotional toll was undeniable. Of course, one Dee Carrington, who had several egregious altercations with Caitlin Clark last year, including the one in which she said, "I gouged the eye scoop out of Caitlin Clark's head." No matter how ridiculous that gyration and flop was during one of those games, it wasn't surprising to those who knew Carrington's history. Her reputation for using dirty tactics has followed her throughout her career, and once again, it took center stage, causing outrage among league fans and analysts. Analysts immediately drew comparisons to one of her most notorious moments when she poked Caitlin Clark in the eye during a heated rivalry game last season, a play that left Clark with a visible black eye and sparked condemnation throughout the league. Everyone else has seen this angle, so I'm calling her in and telling her that I need answers. That incident became the pivotal moment in Carrington's career, solidifying her reputation as a player who is willing to bend or break the rules. In a social media backlash, Indiana Fever fans were especially outspoken in their labeling of her as a dirty player. Carrington's response when the media asked her directly about the incident was to go and kind of swatted at Caitlin. Did you intend to hit her in the eye? And if so, could you just, or if not both, could you discuss what happened on that play? I simply don't understand why I would want to hit someone in the eye. It doesn't even make sense to me. However, I didn't know I hit her. I was actually trying to make a play with the ball, and I guess I followed through, so obviously it's never intentional. Those criticisms feel even more justified now that Carrington's actions seem to echo her previous behavior, reinforcing the very narrative she's been trying to. The game between Kate Martin and Dee Carrington was intense from the first tip-off of the unmatched match between the Laces Basketball Club and the Mist Basketball Club. Martin, a rising star for the Laces, was relentless. Her precise shooting and keen court awareness made her a nightmare for Carrington to guard Martin, who was everywhere slicing through defenses, creating opportunities. If she can't get to Caitlin, she'll just settle for Kate. And keeping an unwavering focus while Carrington tried to restrain her, the frustration started to show. It was reported that Kate Martin became irritated with DJ Caroni's physical defense during the Unrivaled League, and she didn't seem to appreciate it. I'm telling you guys right now that we already know how she's coming, bro. She's very handsy with her style of play. And she's not the only one in this league. Many women do the same. It all culminated in a pivotal play when Martin easily drove past Carrington, her momentum carrying her to the basket. However, rather than using defensive strategy or skill, Carrington struck out recklessly, sending Martin crashing to the ground. The aggression continued as Carrington attempted to swap the ball out of Martin's hands a few plays later, a move that felt less like a real play and more like an intentional attempt to rattle her opponent. The result was an obvious foul followed by a wave of, as the camera pans over, she reaches in and swipes at the ball, but how hard are you going to do it exactly? You're trying to break someone's arm, look at that, and boom, it's the little things that ain't great. What made the moment even more striking was the stark contrast between the two players' demeanors. Martin, who recently earned a bigger role and more minutes on the court, handled the situation with grace. Her poise under pressure spoke volumes, showcasing the traits that have made. While Carrington was unraveling, Martin remained focused and continued to execute plays. This contrast was not overlooked, and Martin's ability to rise above the chaos only served to further solidify her reputation as one of the league's most promising talents. I mean, what are we doing? We're trying to break an arm, and now this person just says it? It's almost like an assault. Carrington's antics, on the other hand, Carrington's foul wasn't just a sign of poor judgment. It was a clear admission that she couldn't keep up for those watching. It was evident that Carrington's actions were more about frustration than defense. So it's unlikely that any one player has benefited more from being unrivaled than Kate Martin. Martin had been demonstrating her versatility throughout the game, running smart plays, hitting crucial shots, and making decisions that kept her team in control. Nobody anticipated that she would be added to the Las Vegas Aces roster. She is known for her fiery and frequently reckless style of play, and she has a reputation for letting her emotions control her. In high-pressure situations against Martin, her aggression once again went too far. But what made this incident even more personal was Carrington's history with Caitlin Clark. Last season, Carrington made headlines for a vicious altercation with Clark that included a now famous eye poke that left the star with a black eye and provoked intense criticism. Carrington's history of attacking Clark makes her actions toward Martin seem more than random. Rather, they seem premeditated. Martin, a close ally and former teammate of Clark's, has taken on a more significant role for the Laces and soon-to-be Golden State Valkyries, and her increasing impact on the court seems to have attracted Carrington's attention. Whether out of annoyance or something more personal, Carrington has once again turned her attention to Martin, using tactics that have caused players and fans to doubt her regard for the game. NBA Twitter is exploding over Black Eye Gate right now. I'm sure we've all seen the play where D. Carrington pokes Caitlin Clark in the eye, and after seeing this angle, a lot of people are claiming that it was intentional. D goes up to steal the ball, and when she comes down, her hand goes like this, straight into Caitlin's eye. Do I think this was a reckless play? Yes, Martin, but she refused to be pulled into the mind games. Instead, she let her performance speak for herself. Her offensive prowess and basketball IQ were on full display, demonstrating her ability to score baskets. This matchup was more than just another game. It was a reflection of two very different approaches to competition. And for Carrington, it was another moment that will undoubtedly fuel the ongoing conversation about her playing style. Meanwhile, Carrington's actions only increased the narrative of a player who struggles to adapt when faced with tough competition for both fans and analysts. The matchup between D. Carrington and Kate Martin reached its boiling point in a game that was as intense as it was revealing from the opening minutes. Martin demonstrated why she's quickly emerging as a league standout player with more playing time. She has continuously shown a skill set and poise that make her invaluable on the court, but her success seemed to irritate Carrington, who used tried and true but contentious strategies in an attempt to break Martin's rhythm. Carrington's antics intensified, but Martin refused to fall for it, rising above the chaos with a poise that won the respect of both fans and analysts. If you listen to what the reporter, for many, this wasn't just about the game. It was about a pattern where fans started to notice what seems to be a deliberate targeting of players close to Caitlin Clark, leading to speculation that Carrington's actions go beyond competitive aggression. The reporter was implying that Dee was upset because she felt she had failed on the previous end before saying, you know what, I'm going to come on the other end. I'm going to just go to, it's one thing to play hard, but going after Caitlin Clark's best friend feels. Despite the physicality and attempts to criticize her, Martin's performance was a masterclass in focus and discipline. Her ability to perform under pressure and her developing leadership on the court only served to highlight why she's one of the league's brightest rising stars. And one fan on social media commented, "Carrington's not here to elevate the game, she's here to tear others down." It was evident that Carrington's tactics were not helping her win over fans or advance her reputation. She hates Caitlin Clark and resents all the attention she receives, as well as the way she positioned herself as the madam, the godmother of women's professional basketball before she even joined the league. And DJ struggled to live up to her potential in fulfilling her talent. Martin relied on skill and teamwork to deliver a performance that not only inspired her teammates, but also highlighted the stark differences between the two players' approaches to the game. The game was a battle from beginning to end, but the LA's discipline and determination shone through for Martin. The victory carried extra significance after enduring Carrington's attempts to undermine her confidence, including one particularly aggressive moment when Carrington tried to swipe the ball from Martin's hands. Instead, it was Martin's composure under pressure that helped tip the scales in favor of the LA, and guess what? Martin outshined and outperformed Carrington, scoring 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and 3 steals against Carrington's 2 points, 3 rebounds, and 2 assists. Throughout the game, Martin demonstrated her adaptability and tenacity, whether it was through her quick passing, timely shooting, or her ability to guide her team in pivotal moments. Each play served as a reminder of her development as a player and her capacity to perform well even under pressure. Carrington, on the other hand, appeared to falter under her own aggression. Her excessively physical style interfered not only with Martin's focus, but additionally, although the Miss has Banna Stewart, Joel Loyal, and Dean Carrington on this team, the Laces beat the living daylights out of them last night.